good to see that the dairy farmers are on board, which is great. So long-term commitment to us and the Suns, which is awesome for us. So hopefully we're having a few of these end of the game after we beat the Tigers. Anyway, first question.
Good.
Oh, shit, did you miss it? No, good.
All right, fire away. No, that's all right. Dimmer's done his spiel.
That's it.
So 2 days out, how do you coached over 300 games? It's not a new concept, but how do you feel now?
Yeah, look, the nervousness and anxiety is still there. Every first round, I think, of AFL season, you come to it with exactly the same feeling. You know, the fact of the matter is, for some unknown reason, round zero, as it is, always feels like it's worth 8 points. But the fact of the matter is, it's a long journey for us. We're only at the very start of the mountain. We've got a long way to go, but we're really excited about the prospect of us playing, especially against a side that I know a little bit about against the Tigers, but we're looking forward to that challenge this week.
How has the Richmond element, has it weighed on you as we get closer to the match, or how is that?
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably as we get closer, that it'll start to forge a little bit of more of a build-up there sort of thing. Obviously, I live now down near the beach, and you start to see the Richmond supporters that have come up for the weekend. They'll get to the game and a bit of banter back and forth along those lines. But look, I just think it's such a great build-up. Like the fact that we've got a round zero in the northern states is, I think, just incredible for the growth of the game. You know, you do look at our population. Half of Australia's population is in New South Wales and Queensland. So if we want to grow the game, we should continue to promote this. It's so important to continue to forge our great game into these northern states, and we're looking forward to hopefully putting our best foot forward to get us on the scoreboard early.
Is there a little extra edge for you being Richmond first up?
Oh, I wouldn't say extra edge. I'm a relatively competitive sort of guy, so the edge is always there. But look, it would be nice to tick that box, but they'll be saying exactly the same thing over the other sheds. So it's going to be a great game, I think. There's two sides that are both at the start of their journey with two new coaches, and it's going to probably be a little bit scratchy and a little bit scrappy at various stages, but both sides will be out there looking for the W.
As a coach, not having Dusty to face him is a good thing, but bittersweet for the whole contest as well.
Yeah, it is in a way. Look, I'm sure, it is. You always sort of like the marquee players to come up, and you like to have the opposition at their best. But look, for various reasons, he won't play this weekend. But we're looking forward to, once again, they've got a lot of other match winners down there. Shea Bolton's an incredible player, and they've got some great midfielders there. Taranto, Hopper, Prestia. So we're going to have our hands full regardless. So we're just got to make sure that we understand that although they've got one really, really good player out, they've got a number of other good players that can hurt us on the scoreboard as well.
Jimmy, how do you balance that? The fact that you're obviously a new team and there's going to be teething issues, but then every game is so important. And without forecasting too much, Richmond are going to be the team in a similar boat to you.
Yeah.
So it's a very important game to get right as well.
It is, but we do have to remember it is a long season. And look, we've got great history with regard to GWS and Collingwood that have probably gone through a similar journey with us, play a relatively similar game style that did take a little bit of time for them to click, but when they did get it, all of a sudden they started to get on a roll. And look, we're hoping we're in a similar boat. We'd hopefully get there a little bit earlier, but the fact of the matter is we know it is going to be a little bit up and down at various stages, but just got to ride the bumps. That's a challenge for us, and we'll get better as the year progresses.
And how does that pair up to how you played over the last 2 weeks, do you think?
Yeah, well, it's been exactly that. Like, we always talk about the rule of 80. We're looking for 80% of what we're about, and we haven't been close to that at this stage. But I think every week we go through with regard to our coaching and our learning and our growth, we get better. Some things in our games that we're doing really, really well, and there's some areas of our game that we need to get better at. But we're very much aware of that. The players are very much aware of that, and we realise it is a long journey.
You've shifted a few of the boys' positions from forwards to back, McAndrew and the like. Are there any last-minute nerves in such a big game whether those guys can fill those roles that you put them in?
Yeah, it is. We're still forging, the relationship with the playing group and where they best fit in the system, and we haven't got all the answers at the moment, nor should we probably expect to be. And some of those players, we're still getting a great understanding of their traits and what they bring, but more importantly, where they can play and where they can operate within our system. And look, some of those positions have started to solidify now, but there's some balls that are still up in the air. So we're not going to have that right at the very start of the season. We'll still work our way through it, but hopefully by mid-year we've got a better understanding about where all those balls fit.
When you came to me, you said part of this was about capturing the Gold Coast supporter base. It sounds like it could be a sellout this weekend. It would be a great start.
Yeah, which is great. And that's something we want to be about. Like, I sort of look at all the great sides that have got great stadiums, and this stadium's awesome, sort of thing. What we want to do is we want to fill it more with Gold Coast fans and the opposition fans. But what we've got to do is we've got to fulfil our end of the bargain and win some bloody games. So that's on us as a footy club, and we understand that. But more importantly, it's the process of winning and what that looks like. Getting the players to understand that the scoreboard will take care of itself is really important. But we want to make it a venue where opposition sides are scared before they even come in here. God, we're going to the Suns environment. Like that's a hairy task at best. So the People's Choice Stadium that we're looking at to build that cauldron-like atmosphere is only starting to build, but we're pretty confident we'll get there.
Was this a chance then to make an early statement? And you talk about people being scared coming to play.
Yeah, it is. It's about setting the scene. And as I said previously, though, we're not going to be at our very best early, but you don't want to be playing your best footy now. You want to be playing a standard that'll hopefully get you the win, but we also understand that our best footy's well and truly still in front of us.
What are you hammering into them then to set the scene? Like, what's the message for the start of this?
Well, there's a lot of messages at the moment because we're trying to implement a new game style, but there's certain things. Our competitiveness in and around the contest and our pressure are probably the two things. But you ask 17 other coaches, they're probably saying exactly the same thing. The fundamentals of the game haven't changed for nigh on 150 years. If you win the ball and you get it going forward your way, you're going to be in a good result, and then you pressure the ball behind it, that's going to be a better result. So those sort of things are the two real traits that we're looking for at this stage.
It's a fine line between, drilling into how you want them to play and not overwhelming them too much.
Yeah.
How do you find that balance in the middle?
Well, good question. It's the balance, isn't it? We sort of get the understanding that we want them to just play. You can't overcoach. Like, they're going to make mistakes. So what we're trying to get them to go is from conscious to subconscious. So it becomes more, trying the right term here, more off. I've butchered that completely. I'm trying to think of the terminology, but trying to make it off instinct, if that's what I mean. So we're trying to train them so it becomes second nature to them. So not thinking all the time, they're actually just doing. So that'll be a challenge at the start, and that's why it'll be a little bit clunky. So the more we train it, the more we play it, the more we educate it, the closer that will come from being conscious to subconscious.
How's Melly Roches doing?
Yeah. So he'll train today. So, it was unfortunate last week. We're sort of looking forward to what he would bring to the side. Obviously, the speed element up forward, the craft inside 50 is really important. So he'll train today, and he's a possible at this stage. We'll wait and see how that goes.
I'm trying to find, I guess, the small forward role. Seems like you tried a few players through pre-season. Have you settled on one at this stage?
No, we're still there's probably a number of positions there that we're still going through to try and find the right mix. And Mally's one of those guys, and a number of those players are starting to understand what that looks like. We just haven't hit the scoreboard as much as we would have liked, but we've certainly had some opportunities. We've just got to get our craft a little bit better. But as I said, we think that'll come over time.
What's been your read on Mac Andrew? He showed so much talent as a defender last year. You've used him forward. He's been a bit everywhere.
Yeah, well, he's had an injury interrupted pre-season. He did a hamstring early, so he just hasn't played enough football at the moment. So, there's probably some guys at this stage are probably a little bit ahead of him. So Mac's got some work to do. We understand that. He's a highly talented player, and he's a player that I certainly want in the side. But we predominantly see him as a back. We sort of toyed with some things last week because we just had some positional excess down back. So we looked at that. There's some things there that we like, but we firmly see him as a back.
Dimmer, it's a big week for your flatmate too, Des Hasler.
Yeah, big Des.
Yeah, up in the penthouse still.
Yeah.
Have you got a sense? Like, it is like you're playing a couple of hours apart. Pretty big weekend for the city, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think that's part of the journey. The Titans and us. It's really important. We're probably, both clubs have been starved for success, and we're sitting here trying to forge a path forward. So the more we can sort of work, together and in our headspace is a good thing. And once again, hopefully me and Des at the end of the night are having a couple of dairy farmers to get us over the line. So he's a great man, Des, really smart coach. So we wish him all the best.
Have you been kept in touch with him?
Well, we sort of see each other. We don't see each other that often because I think we're both early risers. So I don't know whether he's up at. I'm leaving home at 5. I think he's leaving home at 4:30. So which is good. So I can't leave at 4:30 because my coffee shop doesn't open at 5. So shout out to Memento, by the way, which is good. Yeah.
So you're not a Code Wars man, Dimmer, or do you think there's room?
I think
on the goalpost for both of these.
I think absolutely there's room for it. I think the more we're working together, the better we're going to be. Like for me, I just love sport in general. I think one of the great things I look at American sports is their cities support all their teams. We should be the same. The more we're using our headspace to forge our relationship, but more importantly, share ideas, I think it can only help us.
Thanks, Hub.
Thanks, guys. Good job. Enjoy your free milk.
Everyone can take